Hi guys, this is Ginger Rogers here from Not All About Tarot. And what I want to talk about and Divine Spirits really wants me to really put out there and allow people to really open their eyes at least and to understand a few things. Contracts, yes, are no longer. They are unknown and void. But even in the past, Divine Spirits has really been talking to me and allowing me to really understand that a lot of us are in the karmic energy that we're in because of what we have allowed ourselves to keep replaying in our lives. Going back to the past, for instance, and again, Divine Spirits definitely does not shine on anyone going back to anything in the past, because the past is the past, and there is a cycle of endings, a cycle of contracts that must end. And every time you go back to the past, you're reopening a contract or you are reopening a door that is no longer allowed for you to go back to. We as human beings as a whole, this is what these entities here of this world broken game, this is what they knew about us. They knew that we were going to be comfortable in the same mumbo jumbo world that we have allowed ourselves to play in, to where we were going to always keep looping ourselves in a cycle. I'll talk to you later. Close my door for me. But anyways, they knew that we were going to be looping ourselves in a cycle of repetitiveness, which is going to keep you from growth here. And it's also going to keep you opening up old wounds. And this is why a lot of people has been destroyed even in the past, because those wounds, they will keep opening up, going back to a cycle that was never going to play out on an up and up to give you what you wanted it. What you were shown in the past in a cycle, it's going to come back to you in that same way, you guys. It's going to come back to you. It's not going to be any different. So these entities that was on this world here, that was really playing all of us for a fiddler, especially you guys who now are stuck in a lower dimension mindset, who are in hell. They knew that you were going to get comfortable in your comfort zone. The fool is a man or a woman who is taking risk. That's going to jump out of his or her comfort zone. But this is what a lot of us as human beings did not want to do. Again, I'm a Gemini. We adapt to changes very well. We are very flighty as well. So now I can understand why a lot of energetic work to keep me staying still was very prominent for anyone who is very dark and did not want me to move on to my greatness, because I am a person. I am a woman, a divine feminine in a loving dimension mindset, who will get up and do things regardless of how comfortable I am. I will do things different if I know that what I was doing before was not working. This is what this world game kept a lot of my human beings in. It's repetitive energy, going back to the past, old energy, opening the door up to old energy, tiring energy. And a lot of times you didn't even like the past, but you went back to the past because that's what you were used to. You want to get something out of the past. And a lot of people may also feel as though they can't do anything better than the past. And look what that got you. It got you stuck in a whole host of hell. And you don't have to tell me that it isn't, because I know it is. Going back to old contracts, going back to the past, going back to old energy, when that contract is done, you were putting yourselves in these same old tiring contracts. A lot of this wasn't even from your gods, which was these entities that was running this broken game, but they knew that you were going to keep going back and re-implementing yourself in the old contract that was done a long time ago. This is what got a lot of my dark narcissistic masculines who cannot heal. This could be your serial killers as well, repetitive states. This could be even people who has a type in relationships. You know, they want a type in relationships, and they are wondering why they're getting the same old tiring thing from this type of person that they want to deal with in a relationship. Well, maybe it's because you need to get out that old constructed energy and get something that is new to you. Something that is new to you. Something different. Someone different. And this is what Divine Spirits is telling us why, you know, it's so hard now that Divine Spirits has this world now. We are in a divine timing. This is divine timing. Again, you know, no more hearing of, oh, it's going to work out in divine timing. This is divine timing. So if it's not working out for you in divine timing, it's not for you. It's not. And that means that you are not able to go into source energy. So, I mean, this is it, you guys. And I definitely have to put that out there and allow a lot of people to really understand that going back to these old contracts is what got a lot of you stuck. A lot of you stuck in limbo. It kept you not being aware. And I'm also seeing that a lot of innocent people, a lot of naive people are very unaware. If you think about it, think about a criminal. A criminal, to be a criminal, you really have to be very confident about yourself. Confident on you not being caught. And there are criminals out there that's never been caught, you guys. Never been caught. They are very confident in what they're doing. But when you're innocent, when you're naive, you are not going to be confident. You're going to be non-aware of the scenarios that's happening around you. I know, again, there are criminals out there. They can duck and dodge. So much of them being caught because they are not as trusting. They're not naive. And they're very aware. It's like you have a drug dealer that can tell when, you know, that person that's working with them or that they're dealing drugs to is a cop. Because they are not naive. They're not stupid. You know, they are not this innocent person. They're not innocent because they're doing crimes, right? This is why these guys are more aware, and they can duck and dodge the law for as long as they can. This is what makes an innocent person very dangerous to themselves. If you look at a narcissistic person, I would say even, think of these guys, or women, that is, but more men, because it's more implanted into a masculine energy. And anyone would know that, even if you go into the scientific way, the gene pool even. Of course, it's implemented in the masculine energy more. That narcissistic energy, that narcissistic masculine, he never trusts. You listen to him. He always tell you, oh, I don't trust this person. The biggest assholes on the planet does not trust people. And you do so much bullshit. And this masculine does not trust people. And he does so much craziness. Well, that's manipulative energy too. But if a feminine energy start to really understand, maybe you need to start trusting what you hear, trusting what you see. Look into scenarios more. Maybe a lot of my feminine energy, a lot of my naive people, innocent people, maybe you need to stop taking risks and strategize. Being very aware of what's going on around you. Not letting anyone get you trapped into an ever-revolving door. Because again, that narcissistic masculine needs that light innocence to thrive. Innocence never played well here. And another thing, speaking of being aware, I have noticed that being in the 11th dimensional mindset, I have been more aware of everything, including the shape of a person's body. Going into ascension, you guys, is basically, again, you have to be light body. And it's so funny because my son and my daughter wants to gain weight. I wanted to gain weight back in the day too. I mean, I graduated high school weighing 83 pounds. I mean, I had 4 kids and was at 111 pounds. After having these 4 kids, my metabolism just went overload because of me being that ill child back in the day. Light body, you do have to be very much light body to go into ascension. Because going into these dimensions is so hard on your body. It's hard on your arteries, you guys. It's hard on your heart. It's hard on everything. My whole circulative system is always moving. Even when I'm asleep, my consciousness meets my soul, and I finally got a hang of that. I can't even remember when I actually did, but I think I put this on a video, and it was some months, it was last year when I stated that it was hard for me to do that because I wanted to drift off into the afterlife. But now, and I can remember Divine Spirits told me, Ginger, you're going to get used to it, give it 5 days. Well, I didn't even realize I had gotten used to going into the astral plane consciously to meet my soul, and I'm now able to do it without feeling tired and wanting to drift right back off into the afterlife. Okay, when we as divine feminists of light, who is in the sunlight energy, who's in the 11th dimensional mindset, when we went into the 6th dimensional mindset, our souls stayed in the 7th dimensional mindset. Our consciousness stayed here. This is why Divine Spirits was really on any of my divine feminists to not be in an illusion with your third eye. And this is how the Cupid's arrow, the stinging locusts, the love bugs, all of these three are one. This is how they would know not to sting you, by seeing your third eye wide open and aware. If you had any spot or wrinkle in that third eye, they were going to sting you. You were going to be trapped in that emotion, which is hurting a lot of people. Well, when my divine feminist went into the sixth dimension mindset, into the seventh, our soul stayed in the seventh energy, which was in heaven. It was harsh. Our consciousness stayed here. It is very harsh, you guys, to learn how to consciously maintain your avatar without your soul, because your consciousness is going to want to go up to your soul, which can lead to death. This is why they stated that the fifth dimension mindset, anything above the fifth dimension mindset, is death, because of your soul being implemented into that astral plane, the afterlife. You're in the spirit world. Our consciousness has to come back once we are back into our bodies during the sleep state. That consciousness has to be very strong enough to do everything that your soul did, to be aware of everything that your soul did. This goes back to your clones. Again, clones, they are taking consciousness from the actual person, which is your entertainers here. They are putting it in a clone body. That consciousness in that clone body. So that way, that body, that avatar, that made up avatar can do the same, if not more, than what that actual person's body, while it was alive, was able to do. Usually when this is done, any of my entertainers, any one of these people who makes it big, you know, they are the talk of the day, they get the Oscars and however that is. I'm not really too sure about the awards, but anyone who submits themselves to be able to be a big superstar, they sell their soul. If these guys do not do what they are asked to do on this dotted line, here's your contract. Because to sell their soul, they have to sign a contract. If they do not do what they were supposed to do on a contract, they take the consciousness and put it in a clone body. So this star really is dead. And I keep telling a lot of people, if you hear of anyone, any entertainer, or see any entertainer on the internet that speaks that says, "Oh, they're dead, they are dead," and then they'll come back and recount, and retract, say, "Oh, I'm not dead, I'm not." They are dead. They just cloned them. That's how you know. So again, and it's so funny because I wanted to be a superstar when I was younger, and I'm glad I didn't. Sometimes I think my dad wanted me to be a superstar. That's why he named me Ginger Rogers. I used to have an old boyfriend. He used to always tell me, "Man, you should have been an actress," because I can't bullshit you. But I'm so glad that divine spirits put me as a star to be in this energy now, a superstar, because that is exactly what my divine feminist in the 11th dimension mindset is. Got off track. Being light body. You have to be in light body to move up into these dimensions. You're talking about your spirit disconnecting from your consciousness here. It's very harsh to do that. And I don't know if anyone ever realized, on the camera, you can actually see my pulse like pounding, pounding, pounding. I'm not nervous. This is me all the time because of the fact that I have ascended, and your body has to function in that area of ascension. And you cannot be a heavy bodied person and ascending like that, unfortunately. But this is a different topic in some sort of way, because I have been noticing that a lot of demonic energy, that is a benevolent demonic energy that is embedded into a human being, their shapes are funny. It's a different shape. It's not just being overweight. It's like fat with no muscle tone, or small, skinny with no muscle tone, and it's very eerie looking. And I'm noticing that. And it's so funny because I just talked to my daughter a few days ago, and I have my ex-partner's brother. He murdered a little girl some years ago, and I was very obsessed over that in Ohio. Um, I'm not going to say his name, but he's very well known. He's on the internet. He's also been on ID, if anyone knows that channel. Um, and I can remember telling my daughter that, look at him, he was a very unusual, big motherfucker looking demonic man. It's like he's big, and it's not like normal. And don't get me wrong, I plus size women are beautiful. Heavy set men, I love you guys. I've dated a lot of heavy set men, but it's different. These guys that has this demonic energy in them, that heaviness or that slimness is different. It's different. And it's so funny because I did not realize that years ago when I sat across the table with this man who again was my partner's brother. We were together at that time, and I'm looking at this guy across the table and had no idea that this guy could possibly be a serial killer. And I can remember my daughter was 14 then, and I think I was 38. And I can remember my ex-partner told me, whatever you do, don't let my brother in. I'm like, why would I let him in my room? And find out many, many years later that he killed a 14-year-old girl, the same age as my daughter was at the time that I met him. And this guy was that funny shape even then, back then, and then, but I didn't really was not aware of that then as I am now. But I can remember when I met this person that was very much a tyrant in my life. And with all the repetitive head spells and love spells, and that's just so crazy. And I can remember again that funny demonic shape. I've even had someone to say that you can tell a person's benevolent energy even from the shape of their head. You don't even need to look at the eyes. But this is awareness that now is being played out in the open, you guys. So you don't even have to fiddle and look at the eyes and see how deep and dark the eyes are. It is all around. It's right there at your fingertips. You can see benevolent energy. All you have to do is look now. doesn't even take any spiritualism. If you only have that third eye open, it's right there. So I just want to tell everyone this, because you are going to see someone's negativity and darkness and benevolent energy. You are going to see that, you guys. Now more than ever. So this is a part of the 11th dimensional mindset. And Divine Spirit's really talking about cycles being done and over with. Never ever replaying itself ever again. I'm going to leave it there. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.